Hello everyone, this is another Taff's Word, and on this edition we're going to be talking about the future of Newport County AFC. And in light of recent press releases, talk of potential investors coming into the club, talk of the finances being a concern, and our club staring a relegation from the Football League in the face. And to be honest with you, it's a mixture year that would raise for concern, but then also bring in a bit of intrigue, as to, well, who are these investors? What kind of money do they want to put in the club? What kind of percentage of the club do they want to own? Will the Supporters Trust still be the majority shareholder of the club, or will these guys take control and relieve our directors of their responsibilities? Well, at the moment it's all pure speculation. But I'm just looking at some of the comments from people between, obviously, the message board, the Argus, and Facebook about this, and talking about financial concerns. Now, people are obviously saying things like, "Oh, these idiots haven't run our club properly." First of all, these idiots stopped our club from going under when we first took over, and if they hadn't taken over when they did, we were talking days from a winding up order that would have seen us dead, basically. So, these idiots saved the club, so at least give them that kind of respect to start with. I've also seen things like, no wonder we're in so much financial worry with their useless appointments. Now, let's just roll back. Terry Butcher wasn't their appointment, but they sacked him and they needed to. So that was a good move. They brought in John Sheridan, which appointment for us saved us last year. Warren Feeney was part of a future manager development program, and obviously it wasn't in the script for him to take over so quickly, but they planned for it, so they had to, and he proved good to start with, and it's a shame that the whole thing failed with him. But the one thing I will give Warren Feeney is that he put together a squad to play football, a football playing squad. And with the state of the pitch that we're provided by our landlords, it's a shame. In hindsight, you think, well, we're always going to get a bad pitch. But in reality, we shouldn't have a bad pitch when we paid for the drainage for them to be providing us with the right kind of pitch. But hey ho, I've covered this many a time before, so I'm not going to get back into it again now. So yeah, a useless appointments. So they got rid of Feeney when they needed to, and they brought in possibly the most qualified person out there for the job. He wasn't up to the job of that, I know. I mean, the guy was hopeless. He was an absolute idiot for us, but he did go on that winning run. He did give us reason to think, with his usual chit-chat bollocks and all that, that he was the right man for the job and he would take the football club forward. Like I say, it seemed like he was going to at first, but he fucked up in the end, But, the board, when they appointed him, everyone thought the appointment was great. So you were all on board with it at first, but then when it all went south, you're criticising the board for the appointment. I mean, come off it. You got to make your mind up. If you didn't think it was a good appointment, it should have been a bad appointment from the beginning. Because if he ended up going crap, he went crap, they sacked him. There you go, Flinney's in charge now, and we actually have a shot at saving ourselves from relegation. But hey, there we go. So, moving on to the investors. Who are they? Well, apparently Mark Crook is the only named person who is potentially part of that group of several potential investors. I'd like to think Matt Southall would be one of them. I'd definitely sleep easy at night knowing Matt Southall was in charge of the football club. A combination of Matt Southall and Mark Crook and one or two other investors, maybe someone like Kevin Morris, for example. You put a team like that together to run the football club, and your happy days. You got guys with money, guys with business experience, guys with football experience. It's like, for example, you got them three running the club. You keep Lenny Lawrence as a director of football. You keep Mike Flynn in charge of the team. And to be honest with you, whether we stay up or whether we go down, I think next season we can look forward to a good season, and I think we deserve it. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen at the moment. I mean, it's all hearsay, it's all ifs and buts. Who or what, we don't know. Whether the Supporters Trust will give up controlling interest in the football club, we don't know. Would that be the best thing? I think some of the people on the board itself at the moment would probably agree that it probably is, because the fans' own model doesn't work for Newport County, and any fans that criticises the fans' own model need to take a long hard look at themselves, because fans' own means we fans own the club. So we have got to step up. And I've covered this many times as well. You know, fans owned means fan funded, and we haven't done anything because we don't stand together. You know, the instalment of Taff's word I put in last night was how segmented our support is. And when you've got a segmented support that won't work together, we're never ever going to raise the funds to sustain the football club to the level that we want it to be. Obviously, we're expecting the Ritz, but we're paying for a travel lodge, you know. That's basically what we're doing right now. So, you know, you can't have a poke at the ones who are trying to do their best for the club on the limited money that we got. I mean, yeah, you can say they wasted a load of money. They they gambled on Graham Wesley. Yeah, in hindsight, it wasn't a good idea, but you had to give the manager the chance to put his own team together. If the manager spoke, you know, the way he spoke, and yeah, I'll put a team together that'll win you games and everything like that, he didn't. But the fact is, Flinney have taken that team and won some games. So it is a team that can win games. It's just Wesley wasn't the man to put it together, unfortunately. But, you know, I mean, I'll take Flinney now. I'd give him the job on a permanent basis. I really would. And it could be worth getting Byron involved in the first team, but he's doing such a good job with the youth team. Would it be worth taking him away from that now if they're doing so well and the players are playing so well, and you know, we could have some prospects to come into the squad next season because of the job he's doing? Is it worth taking him away from that right now? I mean, you got to have a little think about that one before we call for Byron to be involved in the first team. Would Byron want to be involved with the first team when he's doing so well with the youth team at the moment? You know, there's a lot of questions you've got to ask before you actually say, yeah, go and do that. You know, and you got to think what it is, how it is for the board right now. They have got to be asking those questions. You know, they have got to be, you know, processing all this in their heads right now, and they got to come together and they've got to democratically vote on things. You know, and it's good that we got a good few heads in there at the moment, but the fans' own model's not working for Newport County, and that is mainly down to the supporters. You know, and you can't say any other way than that. We haven't done anything to help raise the money, and if we had done, I mean, we're not doing anything to support the board, because at the end of the day, if all we're going to do is get on their backs, we're going to slow them down. You know, we're going to run them down. They're going to be like, oh, fuck it, why should I bother? And you can't blame them for thinking that way. You know, they're getting so much unnecessary criticism. I mean, you know, they're not perfect. They're not going to get everything right, you know. But the fact is, if you're going to shoot them down every single little opportunity you can, then it's going to weigh down on them, you know. So we haven't done ourselves any favours in all this. So, you know, I say make sure that the Supporters Trust does have a good percentage of the football club, and like we used to do, have 2 representatives. Keep the Supporters Trust board and bring in every other fan group to unite under the Supporter Trust banner, which is what we should have done when we took over the club in the first place. But you know, if we want our Supporters Trust to make a difference like it used to, then we need to start pushing it, you know. But I'm talking into the future now. We don't even know what the investment's going to be, whether people are just going to give us money, whether they're going to buy interests in the club, whether they want to take the club over. We don't know. But all I know is that the people in charge right now, it's about the club for them. And I speak to them on a regular basis, some of them. I can tell you now, right, it's about safeguarding the future of the football club, not about safeguarding their position in a director's box. So, yeah, I mean, people need to think before they start putting stuff out there, you know. Anyway, so Portsmouth, we could have won. Again, a penalty not given. I mean, we've got to take a look at this, right? There's a good 12 to 14 points this season that we've lost on refereeing decisions, poor ones. And I don't think we've gained any. We haven't won a single point off of a poor refereeing decision, in my opinion. I don't think so. I've been to most of the games. I've seen most of the wins. The penalty in Morecambe was. The penalty against Barnet was. But then any other penalties or red cards or anything this season have gone our way, which has caused us to go and win a game. It's not much, you know, but how many games have we lost down to it? Plenty. Too many. And, you know, a lot of the time, it's you know, the referees made the wrong call. You know, this game's lost. I mean, 0-0 on Saturday. We get that penalty and we put it in. We're 1-0 up. We're protecting the lead. They got to come forward a little bit more. You know, open themselves up a bit. And we're good at coming forward quick. You know, and beating teams on the break. So we could have won on Saturday if the referee makes the right call. And for me, it was a stonewall, blatant penalty. And I had a chat with my father after the game, and he was watching the Sky Sports News or Gillette Soccer Saturday, and whoever was watching our game said that it was as blatant a penalty as you could see, you know, you could ever see, and if it was at the other end, the referee would have given it. And considering the way things go for us, that's a given, that is. He would have given it to the other end. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I mean, we got 7 games to save ourselves now. Are we going to do it? I think we could, as long as we win our games at home. Because every single game we've got at home is winnable, and I think there's 4 points in it for us on the road. I think we owe Plymouth one. I think Carlisle have gone poor now, so we could snatch something from them. Exeter are up and down, so I think there's a point in it for there. I think if we get a point at Exeter and a win at either Plymouth or Carlisle, I mean, it's a big ask for any of them games, to be honest, because they're all, you know, teams up towards the top end. But I think we've proven ourselves against top end teams. You know, the draw against Luton, you know, the game against Blackpool, we could have got something from. The game against Portsmouth, we could have got something from. So when we play the poorer teams like Crewe and Morecambe, you know, we're getting the wins. So we've got 4 of them teams at home. So we can start winning some games at home. I think we get 9 points at home, 4 points away. I think, you know, 12 was that 9 plus 4, 13 points. Could be enough, especially given Cheltenham and Hartlepool's form of late. Hartlepool have stopped winning their games now, so there we go. The future of the football club, I wouldn't say it hangs in the balance. I think if we're going to be competitive next season, we're going to need the money, and it doesn't sound like it's there. So there we go. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and until the next time, up the Cainty and cheerio for now. Thank you.